where today we're going to be talking about how to hit the ball on the rise. Now, just to clarify, that's a ball that hits the ground here, and you're going to be making contact right after the bounce. It's a shot a lot of us shy away from, and for good reason. It's definitely a much riskier shot than a ball that's coming right into your strike zone right here, but it's totally worth the benefits, and I'm going to list those for you. First, by not moving back 10 or 15 feet behind the baseline, you are really cutting off your opponent's recovery time. It's going to give them far less time to get ready on that side of the court. Next, by staying up here on the baseline, I'm maintaining my aggressive position in the court, which means if I get off a solid shot, I'm in great position to go on up and hit an approach shot. And the third benefit is my personal favorite. If you can learn how to hit an on-the-rise shot effectively, a lot of times you can take away someone's plan A. Sometimes you get opponents, their bread and butter are those high, deep, loopy balls. If you can step up and take it on the rise, they may not have a plan B. So, what are we going to do to make sure you're confident in this shot? First thing is you have to see the ball bounce, and I mean that literally. You need to see that ball hit the ground. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I talk a lot about seeing the ball off the opponent's strings, seeing the seams of the balls that's coming to you, and this is just an extension of that. You're going to see it come all the way in and bounce on the ground. And the reason that's so important is because the rhythm of the on-the-rise shot is so much quicker than a regular ground stroke. You have to make contact almost directly after the hit, so it's that bounce hit, bounce hit, bounce hit rhythm. Easy drill to work on that. Take a few balls in your hand, drop them right in front of you, and swing. And you notice, as I do that, my shoulders are staying really steady. If you've ever tried to hit an on-the-rise ball, you've probably shanked one off the bottom of the racket. We've all been there, and that's because the tendency is for everything to pull up like this. You have to make sure that you're staying nice and low and level through that shot, and then when you're finished, you can finish like you normally do with that good brush up the back. Next thing, you have to identify the ball early. If you're deciding you're going to step in and take one early on a high loopy ball, you have to see it because it's so important to get your feet in the right position, because there's a lot less room for error on the rise ball. If that ball's bouncing out in front here, that's not going to work. If it's bouncing back here, that's not going to work. So you have to make sure you're adjusting with your feet so that ball is bouncing and you're seeing the bounce right in your strike zone like this. Just like that. So important to see it early. Next step, you have to practice it. Here is a great drill to practice the on-the-rise ball. Take a piece of masking tape, tape it a foot or two behind the baseline, go out there and hit with a friend, hit with a pro, even play points, and see if you can play in front of that piece of masking tape. It's not going to be easy, and it's not necessarily something you would do in an actual match. If you have to move back, we understand that, but it's so important to have the on-the-rise shot as an option. And if you can train yourself to be able to stay right up on that baseline, it's going to make it a whole lot easier to do it in a match. So I'm going to hit a few just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. That's all for today's Tennis Now Instructional. Thanks so much for watching. Go out on the court, give it a try. If you have questions, as always, leave them in the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Tennis Now.